Tennis means everything because I fell in love with tennis when I was 4 years old, and I'm 55 now, so it's 51 years of love, and I still feel the same love for this sport. Tennis means a lot to me because it saved my life. When I was a kid, when I was young, I had no self-esteem, I had no friends, I was struggling at school. The tennis court was the only place where I felt worth something, and if I didn't have that at that time, I don't know how I would have evolved and handled life, because I needed that fresh air at least 1 hour or 2 hours a day where I could feel like I was worth something. Yeah, tennis brought me not everything, but a lot. For me as a teenager, but also for the students that are at the school, the sport brings all the values that are necessary for life. There is a big difference between parents telling kids, you should do this, you should have those values and stuff like that, and on the other hand, experiencing the values, going through those values. And that's what sport does. If you don't do sport, there are a lot of situations you will not experience, and you won't have the opportunity to make values yours. It teaches you discipline, resilience, acceptance, all those values that people need in life to navigate in the best possible way. Sports gives it to the children until they get adults, and that's why I love the Tennis and School program, the one that we have, but in general, to bring together education and sport, because it's so complementary. You understand the theory and you live it in practice, otherwise it's only theory. Over the years, tennis became a job. It was a passion, it became also a job, but I never saw it this way. I always saw it as me being lucky to be working in something that I would pay for, because it's my passion. Same when I do TV and I'm commentating a match. I would watch the match and I would enjoy like crazy. They pay me to talk about the match that I'm watching. That's incredible. Tennis evolved from being just a passion to being a TV job, a coaching job, a business, but I never ever saw it this way. I always saw it as I am lucky to be able to spend all my time just doing my passion. I created Mouratoglou Academy for one main reason. From 4 years old to being a teenager, tennis was everything to me. That was the only place I was feeling great. I always saw it as I'm going to be a tennis player and nothing else. There was nothing else. And when I get to that age, 15 years old, 16, first I started to have a lot of work at school, and I wanted to be able to start traveling a little bit to play tournaments, and on my way to become a pro. And I had the discussion with my parents, and they told me no chance. You're not going to be a professional tennis player, you're going to go to school because it's much too risky to play tennis. And my entire world just broke down. First, tennis was everything, and second, it was also everything I planned for my future. I never planned anything else. So all my world just broke down, and it took me 10 years, literally 10 years to recover from it. And when 10 years later I was ready, I thought that the best thing I could do for myself, which actually would be great for others too, so that was perfect, was to give children the chance to become professionals, this chance that was taken away from me, to give it to others. And I thought if I do that, this will fill the gap for sure. When players train at Mouratoglou Academy, I want them to feel the same way as I wanted them to feel when I started coaching. The first time I entered the court as a tennis coach, I knew nothing about coaching, but zero, literally zero. I thought before entering the court, I want this hour to be the best hour on a tennis court ever for this player. And this is exactly how I want people to feel. This is called service. And whatever you do, whether you're a waiter, a tennis coach or anything, you have to listen to what the client wants deeply, make him feel understood because you understand him or her, and making the experience unbelievable. That's your responsibility, whatever you do. And a lot of people make it about themselves, and I think it's a big mistake. I think Asics partnership is fitting with Mouratoglou perfectly in terms of value. I mean, the baseline of Asics applies to us. It's all about having a sound mind and a sound body. We have this holistic approach. We take care of the player fully. Because tennis is a complex sport, it's not only about technique, it's not only about tactic. Physical side is very important, the movement is key, and the mental side is key too. So if you don't have this holistic approach when you coach people, it doesn't work. We are in charge of young people who are going to become adults, and our responsibility is to prepare them for life. It's about developing human beings that are able to evolve and make the life they want in the future. The second reason why I think Asics and Mouratoglou match perfectly is that we have this quest for excellence. Asics is looking at every single details to make the shoe as perfect as possible. They work with the best people, including Novak, who's so obsessed with every details. This says a lot about how both of our brands are driven by this desire of excellence. With Asics, we're going to provide takeaways, more tips about movement, and events. We're going to do all that together. We don't just play to win, we play to feel.